I pray that you protect our minds, bodies, and spirits as I receive divine messages. And I pray that you bless us with the gift of wisdom and discernment so that we are able to take empowered action that is in alignment with our highest and greatest good. Ashe. Yes, I'm on TikTok. I'm on TikTok and YouTube. I do not look famished. Let me go ahead. I'm all over the place, y'all. For those of you joining on YouTube, I already got started on IG Live, so you can follow me there. And again, I'm at Mo Online on all platforms. But yeah, we're going to get started with this reading. You came in midway into the initial prayer. But we're just going to hop right into it. Got you. That's the thing. TikTok's notifications are funny. They don't always come up. And sometimes when they update the app, they like refresh. And I know most people don't get a notification when I post on YouTube. So I would double check there as well. Because other people have said that like TikTok and YouTube, they'll actually like turn off your notifications. Or they're like unsubscribe you from certain content creators. Yeah. Let's get started. But hello, ancestors, spirit guides, and angels. What messages or insights do you have for the collective? What would you like us to know and to be aware of? Please inform me. And that's the other thing. TikTok has been acting really funny for me lately. Or at least like when I get on TikTok, like the service is choppy, but when I get on IG, it's not that bad. So there's that. To be honest, y'all, I'm not picking up on a whole lot of energy. But let me just see what the cards say. Thanks, I appreciate it. Okay, here it is. Okay, so I'm getting this like rewinding feeling. Right, we have the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is upright, but then it's followed by the Star card and the Nine of Pentacles, and both of them are in reverse. And it's like, I usually see other cards with this feeling, but it feels like going back or rewinding or untying. Funny that I have like this cardigan on with these like strings. They have like, they kind of look like shoestrings, but they don't have aglets at the bottom. But there's some unwinding of our foundation. There's some unwinding of our history. There's some unwinding of our home and our family dynamics that just needs to be paid attention to when it comes to our money and our finances. Hey, Donna, welcome in. Hey, Ann, y'all made it just in time. Right, with the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Hangman in reverse, followed by the Five of Pentacles. All of this is really just pointing to money and finances. Right, that like there are some like monetary habits or the way that we spend our time, or maybe even the way that we choose our careers, right, that kind of have us like tied up with not having enough, not receiving enough. You know what I mean? Not having all the resources that we want. With the Ace of Wands in reverse, it does feel like in one way that we could use more passion, that we could use more direction or creativity, or just like an expansion of energy overall, right? Last card that we have here is this Three of Pentacles. I'm going to get clarification on it. But the Page of Wands and the Ten of Wands at the bottom of the deck, it kind of feels like we've been like waiting to engage with this energy, specifically about like how we find our careers, engage with our money and our finances, where we invest. We've been like avoiding dealing with this for quite some time. I love you too, Donna. But now it feels like now is the time. Now is the time to deal with it, right? Excuse me. Can you clarify this Three of Pentacles, please? Mm-hmm. We got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Five of Wands in reverse. It's so weird, right? It's like the energy, because kind of the energy I'm tapped into, that like whatever it is about like money or finances or our career, again, it's anything related to the Pentacles I'm picking up on. It feels exhausting. It feels exhausting. But it also kind of feels like it's fine to feel exhausted, or it's fine to exert a lot of energy. It's just a matter of like what the payoff is. You know what I mean? Let me explain it, right? Because on one hand, it feels like maybe like people are like tired of like working all the time, or even like feeling like they're unable to get caught up on their bills, right? Or like having to track their finances. All of that feels like super overwhelming, right? But the flip side of it is like if you begin to pay like close attention to your finances, or you begin to track it meticulously, or you get passionate about monitoring your finances or the trajectory of your career, and you actually put a lot of energy into it, you're still going to be exhausted. You're still going to be kind of tired. You know what I mean? You're still going to have to exert a certain amount of energy, but the payoff is going to be better. The payoff is going to be a lot more fulfilling. So it really just feels like, how do you want to spend the energy? Right? And again, like as I was saying before with this Hermit card in reverse, it doesn't necessarily feel like we have to make any decisions. It feels like we need to look at the foundation, look at where our money habits came from, look where our career habits came from, pay attention to it, and figure out what's good for me, what's right for me. Again, this could just be like an analysis that we need to do at the present moment. And then once that analysis is done, then we could begin to move forward. Because like there's like, how are we using our energy when it comes to our time, our money, our finances, and our careers? And how do we want to use it moving forward in the way that's going to give us the most payoff and the most emotional fulfillment? Right? The most fun. And also like the most exploration. There's like, they keep giving me all these images today. I'm not that clairvoyant, but today is a clairvoyant day. Right, there's these images of like, it really feels like people going on vacation. And again, taking us back to the Four of Wands, which was the first card that popped up. Sometimes the Four of Wands talks about vacations and celebrations and trips and excursions, where yes, you're exerting more energy, but you just get to do more. And when you get to do more, or you spend more, or you invest more, it allows you to travel. Yeah. Is this resonating at all? Is this making sense? What else would the divine like us to know? Please and thank you. Okay, so here's the other thing, right? The other thing is that like, it feels like the divine is always it feels like the divine is always giving us ideas. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Page of Cups in reverse, the Empress, the Magician card, the Knight of Cups, all in reverse. Like we receive ideas, especially during like Pisces season. Like we have dreams, we have visions, we have ideas on how to improve our finances or our careers, or maybe I should contact this person, and to ask them for a job, or maybe I should add this to my resume, or maybe I should use LinkedIn a little bit more, or maybe I should start investing here, or taking a financial literacy course. There are all these different things that are coming to us intuitively, or even, with this Page of Pentacles, sometimes it feels like a gift, from the divine, like something is placed into our laps divinely, and we're not taking action on them, right? Just because it's right out of our comfort zone. You know what I mean? Because they kind of make us a little bit difficult, because we currently don't feel stable in what it is that we already do have, or we just don't know how it's going to turn out, right? But with the Devil card here, it kind of feels like we're being trapped in a box, or we're trapping ourselves in a box. No tea, no shade. right? We're trapping ourselves in a box that's kind of like locking us up. And it's really just about fear and wanting complete control. And the other thing about it, like this devil card, it feels very, I don't want to say structured, but like fixed. It feels very like regulated. It feels very, if I'm being honest, on one hand, it feels like the way that, like, like the establishment or like big businesses or even the way that like society is structured, it kind of feeds us narratives that kind of dictate what we think we can do and the ways that we can access abundance, money, resources, and how we spend our time. Right? It feels like, well, if everybody else is doing X, Y, and Z, and I've only ever been taught X, Y, and Z, what makes me think I can do something else? What makes me think I can branch outside of that? What makes me think that I have the, the sauce or the key, you know what I mean? Or the motion. I think the key is important because when we look at this card again, I'm not sure if y'all can see it, but there's a lock with the key. You know what I mean? And then also, when I look at it, it's unlocked. It's unlocked. Can y'all see that? It's super clear on YouTube. I'm not sure y'all can see it over here. But if y'all can see, the lock is unlocked. She's actually able to free ourselves. And that's kind of what the devil card points to, right? These are like mental habits and ideas and structures that we think are trapping us, but we actually have all the control because God gives us what? Free will. Yeah, so we're not always using the resources, the tools, and our free will and our imagination that's around us in a way that would make us feel powerful, in a way that would make us feel like the world is our oyster and we're able to explore and live full lives and expand. Again, there's like this expanding feeling of like branching out and like stretching our wings and just experiencing a whole lot more. You know what I mean? Let me get an action plan. Can we get a clear and concise action plan, please? How will this collective proceed and move forward? And again, like, what did I say, Yemisi? I think I mentioned that Venus was going into retrograde on March 1st. Yes, Venus is going into retrograde on March 1st. And then Mercury is going into retrograde on March 15th. And this will be a really good time. No, unfortunately, I'm not in. I'm currently fasting, but I will be on tomorrow to do personal readings and minis. But as those two planets are in like retrograde, and like sometimes people are like, oh no, the retrogrades, they're awful, they're bad. I don't think they're bad. I just think that they require that we utilize a different energy and type into a different way of being. And I think that the good thing about these two planets moving into retrograde coming up is that it's going to give us the ability to reflect on our thoughts, our habits, the information we're taking in. It's going to give us the opportunity to slow down and reflect on many of the things that we're talking about now. Because when we talk about Venus moving into retrograde, we're talking about our values, our relationships, art, culture, how we connect with the people we love most, how we connect with our finances, and how we spend our time, right? And all those good things. Yeah, so I think that it'll be really good to have both Mercury and Venus in retrograde because those two planets can kind of sync up their energies. I know we will have to look a little bit closer at like what signs and houses they'll be transiting when it comes to your personal chart. But having multiple planets, especially personal planets being in retrograde, can be quite fruitful. What's our action plan for this collective reading, please, and thank you? Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest thing I'm thinking, or the biggest thing that I'm seeing and like picking up on is like how we have access to success and victory, right? Two of Pentacles followed by the Death card. This again is thinking about what you are carrying, what are you holding? And then for somebody, this ties us back to that Empress card we were looking at earlier. What do you need help with? You know what I mean? Like, what could you use help with? I'm really trying to get it in focus over here, y'all. Okay, there we go. Right, the Two of Pentacles is about juggling multiple things, or the ways we choose to spend our time. And oftentimes there's a call to like ask for help. Excuse me, truth bird. To put something down, or to acknowledge in which ways, you know what I mean, our habits, the way we're spending our time, or the things we choose to focus on are keeping us tied up and stuck in the same place. Yeah. So the Death card is just about like taking in that energy, doing a stock take about like, okay, what can I release, and what energies can I release and reincorporate into the, you know, the amount of time I have in a day, in a week, in a month that's going to allow me to be successful. Right? Strength card, Six of Wands. The Strength card talks about a quiet, confident strength, and usually it doesn't come up really strong, but this like right now this card feels very strong. It feels like, you know, when you're like working out, or you go to the gym, or you're like lifting weights, like the current feeling that I'm feeling right now, it's like after you get off of like the Stairmaster and you've been walking on the Stairmaster for a bit and your legs feel like buff. And it's not like you have to go and kick somebody right now. You know what I mean? But there's like this bloody, like throbbing feeling that feels like, or it's visceral. You know what I mean? It feels like visceral strength in the body. And the Six of Wands is about conquering a challenge and coming on top victorious. Right? Hey, Haisa. Hey, Angel. Let me see. What else can I pick up on? The Devil card popped out again. So, like, I'm hearing things come through a lot clearer and a lot more specifically right now. Part of this is like acknowledging like our vices, our coping mechanisms, and our guilty pleasures, right? And it doesn't necessarily feel like, you know, take this how it resonates. Some of us, we need to like cut them out of our lives, but what I'm feeling more than anything is like learning how to curtail, right? How much time are we spending scrolling on TikTok? How much time are we spending throughout the week eating really, really rich foods? How many times are we spending throughout the week, you know, binge watching television shows on Netflix? How much time throughout the week, you know, are you having like a cocktail, right? Hey, Haisa. Hey, my loves. Right? And then again, this Devil card came out again. And again, the message here is like, you can always release yourself from these vices. You can always release yourselves from these guilty pleasures and coping mechanisms. And there's a bigger focus on acknowledging in what ways, I'm not seeing this in the cards, but I'm picking up on it intuitively, in what ways we mentally convince ourselves that it's okay. Or in what ways do we make it okay, you know, to continue to binge or to live in excess, or to not be balanced and stable with the content, the things, and the habits we're indulging in, right? And if I can show, if like they're really painting a very, very clear picture, all right, even with the way that the cards are coming out together, both of these cards are like tied up, right? The Hangman is about being stuck in the same position and not seeing things change or being altered. And the Devil card, again, and both of these cards point to having self-control, but not being able or not choosing to use your free will to make a different decision. And then this one is in a cage and this one is a net, right? The net, this one right here can't get out of this net, but Miss Mama's down here in this cage. She can get out of the cage, right? Nobody's holding her up. It is unlocked. If y'all could take a look at the lock again, it is unlocked. Right after that, we have the Two of Pentacles, followed by the Temperance card, right? This is another collective twos. What are we choosing to juggle? How are we spending our time? What are we focusing on? What are our current habits? And how can we drop something and take that emotional energy and invest it to create something new, to create something different, to create a new experience, to practice, you know, spiritual or energetic alchemy with our time, with our focus. I'm hearing with our attention. What you pay attention to will grow. Where your attention goes, grows. Right? So what do you want to see? Do you want to see your finances grow? Again, this could be listening to podcasts, picking up books, finding a financial advisor. and like a real financial advisor. Because I know, I'm pretty sure most of us have gone to a financial advisor that has enrolled us in life insurance, and then we never get any more financial advice from them. Not one of those ones. Those ones are really financial advisors, in my opinion, you know. But no, I'm jibber jabbering. Anyway, right? And there's also something that's been growing with the Death card and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse that has come up again, right? There is something we've been investing in that it has continued to grow in the opposite direction. It's kind of like mold or like weeds in your yard. You know what I mean? Where if they go unattended or you don't pay attention to it, it just grows and grows and grows, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And the longer it goes on, the worse it's going to get, and the harder it's going to be to unroot those habits out of our system and out of our energetic being. So I definitely recommend a fast. And again, like the divine is saying, that the divine will be helping us and giving us new opportunities to spend our time, new relationships, you know, new things to focus on. And they're going to be new. They're going to be fresh. They're going to be a gift. We just have to actually, and then something about these fairies, something about the fairies here on this card feels like pay attention to serendipity encounters, like maybe a stranger in the street or an old colleague just saying, hey, it's good to see you. I'm at da-da-da-da-da. I thought about you. Apply to this job position. You know what I mean? Or I listened to this podcast. I wanted to share it. There's really like these like magical things that are going to be coming up. I'm hearing over the next week and a half, right? Over the next week and a half, you can keep an eye out for these opportunities, right? But make sure you are energetically available to it. And like, if you want to double down, Dimity was saying she was going to do a fast. If you want to double down on that energy, do your social media fast and maybe give up, you know, something like added sugars, you know what I mean? Or dairy or meat, right? Anything, right? Or screen time, you know, kind of what I'm doing on my fast. I'm trying to give up screen time. I'm not going to lie to y'all and say I've been perfect with it. I'm only on day 2, right? But I've been pretty good with my dietary fast, but I've been trying to ensure that I read more, or if I am watching TV, that it's something that's educational or good for my spirit, my mind, or my body. You know what I mean? Okay, that feels good. I'm going to get us some oracle cards, and then we're going to wrap this up. Yeah. So I'm getting something from the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck, and then another one from the Purposeful Career and Money Oracle deck. I'm going to start with the Purposeful deck. Can you get an oracle card for the collective, please? I feel like I need to get 2. They said I'm good with 1. Oh, we have Transfiguration at the bottom of the deck. But what I'm going to read right now is Comfrey, which says completion. These cards are really beautiful. I know y'all are watching here, but if you have the opportunity to check this video out on YouTube, please do. It's just like the quality is really given over here. It's really giving what it's supposed to give. But this looks like the World card. Uh-oh. Didn't mean to knock the microphone over. I'm not playing no music. Did y'all notice? I'm just now noticing. So upright, we have achievement, completion of a cycle, success, closure, completion of a long journey, wholeness and mending. Reversed, making the same mistakes, lack of closure, feeling incomplete and emptiness. The astrological ruler is Saturn. Guidance. Comfrey represents wholeness, completion, and closure of a great cycle. The wreath symbolizes a cycle containing the energy of the past, the present, and the future. Hovering over the clouds to note how the foundation of all cycles are grounded in mystery. Comfrey majestically grows in the center, representing the axis mundi, the sacred heart, the sacred will that pulses the great mystery. Comfrey has appeared today to signal that a great cycle is nearing completion. Stay aligned as you continue to prune and heal the garden of the self. Look closely into repeated patterns, persons, or situations that keep showing up in your life. Draw upon Comfrey's power to mend and find wholeness in lessons and patterns that need closure. Yeah, so as we're like reflecting on, how to change our money habits, how to change the way that we think about our career, I'm also hearing our self-value, our relationships, and all things Venusian. Do know that we do have the opportunity to close some cycles in the near future, right? If you want to wrap something up and move on to a new journey, to a new path, and move on to the next lesson in your soul's ascension, that you can definitely do that. But again, Saturn is not about, Saturn ain't gonna give you nothing easy. You know what I mean? Saturn is like, you don't reap the benefits unless you what is it? You toe the field, you sow the field, you row the field. Y'all get what I'm saying. And then I'm going to get a couple more oracle cards. I'll get one more. Okay. Coolio. So the first one that we got is choices. There are a lot of opportunities waiting for you. Don't doubt yourself and trust your instinct in choosing the best possible decision. Again, that's what I was saying earlier, that like our intuition, our feelings, our Empress and our High Priestess energy, it's giving us these ideas, but we're not taking action on them just because we can't see the through line in our surroundings. After that, we have unsteady. Things might be getting wobbly in your cash flow or business. Abrupt changes in decision making are affecting your finances. Right? This doesn't necessarily seem like a bad thing to me. If I'm being honest, the energy that I'm getting from this card is that it's kind of a good time for things to be unsteady, and take that with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? I'm not going to contradict myself, right? Because part of me wants to say, I was going to contradict myself, right? Like when we turn on the news and all the things that the news is telling us, girl, you better have your money in order. Right? But this unsteady feels like if you have the ability to shake up your finances, to shake up your relationship with money so that you can adopt a new one, that would actually be a good thing. Yeah, that's just what that card feels like. And last but not least, be careful with whom you deal with anything related to your finances. There could be some misunderstanding with someone about money. Yeah. This card feels like your money is your money. Handle your money appropriately. Don't let outside like parties or like friends or family members know too much about what you got going on with your money. My nose is tickling, girl. That must have been for me. But that concludes this collective reading. I hope this helps. Please thank your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels. And as always, this is XOMO. If you're looking for more information, if you want to know, if you just want to get more specifics, I'm always available for a private. You can find the link in my bio, in the description bar, on my homepage. If you type in Mo Online Stand Store in Google, you can find me pretty much anywhere. Yes, my loves. But I hope this helps. I am heading out early tonight. To my good Judies on... I'll see you tomorrow. To my good Judies on... What is it? On IG and on YouTube. If you're just now watching this will reach you in divine timing. Please have a good night. But I will be back on tomorrow night to do personal readings and minis if you were looking for one of those. But yes, that's all I have for you. Good night. Bye-bye.